Good morning, everyone. You're listening to 107.7 Freedom Radio in Baghdad. It's 8:08. Coming up next, we have a special request of the Jackson 5.
Take a trip to Baghdad and you will find two cities, the American Baghdad and the Iraqi Baghdad. It's become a place where Americans and Iraqis live together, yet apart, blinded to each other's reality. So while Iraqis salvage what remains of their homes after yet another bomb, tucked away in another corner of the city, a young army DJ is preparing the music for her breakfast show. She broadcasts from the heart of American Baghdad, the so-called Greenzone. It's heavily fortified. Few Iraqis are allowed in here.
It's 8:13, high today in Baghdad, 69 degrees.
Freedom Radio, live from the big town.
How long have you been doing this?
Since the middle of December. Everybody thinks that all we do is like play CDs, and it's like, it's not as easy as you think, so. We don't get to pick the music.
Why?
Because we have a format that is given to us by our higher people command.
The Pentagon effectively picks the tunes, so Nikki has to play what's called adult contemporary music. Rap, hip-hop, and country and western are not on the playlist. Nikki is isolated in her studio at the top of the International Convention Center. But even here, she's not completely out of harm's way.
Well, when you're getting attacked like once a week, that's kind of hard, you know? It's like you hear, and you like, I'm to the point where I can almost measure the distance of how far the mortar round struck.
The most heavily armed staff on the air. Freedom Radio.
Camp Victory is by Baghdad Airport. It looks like an enormous caravan park. It's home to thousands of soldiers.
It's nice when the Apaches fly over.
Sergeant Wyant has moved here from his home in Austin, Texas. So you haven't got to try the local shish kebab or anything like that?
No. I do need to go get a rug for my wife, though.
Right, I'm fit and ready to go and work with children.
Incredible, but true. 3 British clowns have turned up in the mad circus that Baghdad has become. Their aim is simple: to help children traumatized by war. But they're not the only ones traumatized.
I told him that I was homicidal and suicidal. I've told many people that I've been hearing voices in my head, but these people, they do not take me seriously. There's a lot of soldiers like me.
Just as Iraqi children are affected by the ongoing conflict, so too are American soldiers. This young man was clearly in some distress. He had taken several Valium while on active duty to calm his nerves. The suicide rate among American soldiers serving in Iraq is now higher than during the Vietnam War.
I went to a mental health specialist many times, telling him that I was not fit to go to Iraq. This mental health specialist basically told me to get out of his office. I'd have to say about 60% of soldiers are using marijuana. About 30% of them are using cocaine.
Some soldiers feel their cries for help are not being heard.
We shall now take a bow, disappear, and leave 1,000 chaotic kids to the teachers to sort out.
The clowns may cut a surreal figure, but they are clearly doing what the Americans are failing to do. Here in Sadr City, the most deprived area of Baghdad, the clowns are touching Iraqi hearts.
Are you enjoying in Iraq?
Yes, very much, thank you. It's foolish there.
Because your heart is very big.
So much for Iraqi hearts. What about Iraqi minds? This is the Iraqi Writers' Union, where intellectuals gather for a drink and sometimes drown their sorrows. They dismissed the American soldiers as ill-educated. What about the behavior of the American soldiers?
Very bad. Very bad. Because they are uneducated people. Soldiers, uneducated people. Why kill the Iraqi people without any reason? Why kill the Iraqi people without reason? Americans come here for telling lies. They want to control all the world by the force.
The majority of people in the world think this is unnecessary. Almost every soldier I talk to has disagreed with us being here. People in the United States military have no idea what's going on in the real world. The United States is wasting their money.
Especially if you're in your room and you hear indirect, bombs going off. Again, you put on your gear and you just jump out and you seek shelter, get behind the sandbags.
And who's filling the sandbags? Unemployed Iraqis who've been bussed in specially for the task.
I came over here, I was thinking it was going to be like stepping back into time. Yeah, I was thinking that they'd be around, on camels and the women would be walking behind them and all that. But they're just like a lot of the streets back home.
It's 9:28 and you just heard from Elton John. Saturday. I can't talk this morning for anything. Saturday night's All Right for Fighting here on Freedom Radio. We're bringing you the best of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. But coming up next, we're going to have the Freedom Radio news.
What's that? 35 killed?
Yeah, the people talking about that. Some injured now died.
Another day, another bomb. So far, 35 dead, and the death toll is still rising. The targets were Iraqis applying for jobs in the new security forces. The survivors become the object of the media's gaze. While they are focused on the survivors' agony, this man has died almost unnoticed. His family were not there.
The Americans describe themselves in the occupation forces. So it's their duty to protect Iraqis. But you can see nothing. They protect themselves by these giant concrete walls like the Great Wall of China, and hide themselves inside. But you can see Iraqi people. All Iraqi people are targeted now. Even me, even you. Maybe this car will explode now. Who knows? Any car.
And this is what's going on behind those giant concrete walls. Thursday night is disco night at the Al Rashid Hotel. And yes, they really are playing Tragedy by the Bee Gees. This is the dance floor where Uday Hussein once stalked his prey. American officials here don't seem to realize the illuminated star they are dancing on is a symbol of Saddam's bath party. These are the people running Iraq.
I think some of them are quite frightened even of just the ordinary Iraqis. A lot of the people that work within the CPA haven't come out of the green zone at all. They just stay in there. So the Iraqis they meet are the translators and maybe the cleaners or whatever, but they don't really come out on the streets and talk to people.
I talk to the workers. Like, I don't really work with them, but I do say hi and bye to them sometimes. Oh, excuse me.
مراقبي من طلع من العمل ماله راح لحقوا سيارتين سيارة صارت قدامه وسيارة وراه انقتل بيها.
The only people who know how many Iraqis are dying are the ones digging the graves. Most of those being buried these days have met a violent end. The grave diggers here have never been busier. They say there has been a tenfold increase in burials since Saddam's time.
كنا نتصور الامريكان من دخلوا راح يحررونا من نظام سابق وطاغي. فاحنا اجانا يعني من حررونا من عنده. هم استحلونا بنظام اطغى من عنده.
It feels like a slow descent into madness. At night, the other foreigners in town, aid workers and journalists, are henned into their hotels. It can be dangerous just to step outside, so a blitz spirit is developing.
Hey, Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be.
The pianist is Iraqi.
Ours to see. Hey, Sarah, Sarah.
Do you know this song? Who knows this song? I was singing, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Come on. The good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing this so good. No, no.
Now do you believe in rock and roll? And can music save your mortal soul?
The Baghdad branch of Burger King has just opened. Iraqis don't work here. A group of Nepalese men have been imported to flip the patties. It's not in the center of Baghdad, but by the airport, where access is restricted. In the interest of authenticity, every Whopper is flown in from the United States.
Were you surprised to find there was a Burger King in Iraq when you came here?
Heck yeah. It's nice though.
Have you tried any Arab food here? Arabic food?
Their kebabs are alright. They're not great, but they're alright.
Culturally, Americans and Iraqis are still worlds apart. They don't eat each other's food, and they certainly don't speak the same language.
Learn the local language and be a part of the world around you. Here are the words for please, thank you, and excuse me.
Please, min fadlak, min fadlak, min fadlak. Thank you. Shukran.
I know this one.
Shukran. Shukran. Excuse me. Afwan. Afwan.
Afwan?
Afwan.
Afwan.
Keep listening for more Arabic on Freedom Radio 107.7 Baghdad.
Any of y'all speak any English?
You speak English?
No, I'm speaking English. Okay. Somebody had a gun out there. They said it was a BB gun.
يقول لك هاي رشاشة على هاي صيد بيها.
هذا مرسد.
Okay, but hey, he needs to keep it in his inside. Because we're gonna drive by and see that, and we might accidentally shoot him.
No, I'm speaking English.
We don't want to. Okay, ready? I'm driving by, driving my truck. I see a gun. I shoot him. I don't want to.
I know. Where's the gun?
No.
I know. Shoot the birds?
Yeah, it's a BB gun. It's the same thing that did last time we did.
طبعا حمام هذا ما كنت.
I know.
اي مرسد.
حمام.
انت مترجم؟ ماكو مترجم؟
ما وياكم مترجم؟
مترجم يعني انجليزي.
ما صيد ماكو.
Is it the accumulation of little scenes like these, repeated throughout Iraq, let alone the tragedy of Fallujah, that's turning America's erstwhile friends into enemies?
Who is the enemy?
You're asking questions that you shouldn't be. You're kind of making that line. That's why I'm getting a little upset, because that's not at my level to ask. I can't really answer you on questions like that.
So how can you instruct them over the radio to watch out?
Well, the enemy obviously are the people who are throwing over these mortar rounds, who are shooting RPGs at our convoys, who are placing IEDs on the roads.
But the soldiers have made some friends.
So what's your name?
Barney!
Like Barney Rubble?
Barney Rubble!
Are you from the Flintstones?
No.
What's your name?
Frankie's son.
Frankie and Barney, as the soldiers call them, have become firm friends of the Humvee patrol.
What the
The boys have picked up more English than the soldiers have Arabic.
Where'd you learn those bad words from?
Here.
Need anything? Me go get it for him.
Pretty much anything we need from the market. These guys can get us anything.
Yeah.
Stuff that we can't get from the PX, these guys can get for us.
You don't want to go to America one day?
You don't want to go see it?
You love it here?
Later, homie.
Let's go!
They may not be interested in going to America, but Barney and Frankie seem fond of their American occupiers.
See you later, pimping.
The proliferation of hardcore porn could be described as one of the bittersweet fruits of the American occupation. It was banned under Saddam.
Finish Bono. It's me. 1, 2, 3. Finish Bono. This yes, Bono. It's good, very good.
Now it offers some young kids, some very young indeed, a chance to make a quick buck. Here in the market, in the heart of the Greenzone, young kids sell Saddam memorabilia and hardcore porn films to American soldiers. The Americans and Iraqis may not be listening to each other, but they can connect over the US dollar.
American. Go, 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 go.
Baghdad has become a place of fear and of loathing. So maybe it's not so hard to understand why, a year after Saddam was overthrown, Iraqis no longer see Americans as liberators. Many feel that unless the Americans can provide meaningful security, they'd be better off without them.
Just look over your shoulders, honey.
Sorry, could you explain what you're doing here?
Well, we're passing out leaflets right now, sir. It's just, you know, there's a lot of good people that live here in these areas, but sometimes are afraid to come forward with information.
I think that's not useful for the terrorism.
What's that?
You must fight. You must do something for the people.
I agree, sir.
I think the helicopter protect you, not protect us. Forgive me about that.
Oh no, sir. You're entitled to your opinion.
We lost many people every day. We lost children every day,
and that's the sad
part. You can't stop terrorism.
You can try.
The country is open.
Yes, sir.
All the country is open. I think.
How can we stop it?
That's your responsible, not mine.
We're trying, sir. How can you help us do that?
No, I can't.
I try to stay happy. I mean, it's a good thing I have music here and kind of gets my mind off of things for a little bit anyway. That is until I hear a big boom. It's a different experience, I tell you that. I was deployed to Kosovo and it's nothing like this.
Why, is it much worse?
Well, no, in Kosovo, there was ethnic violence between each other, and we were the peacekeepers.
And what are you here?
Targets? You've been listening to me, Nikki Cage, in the mornings, Freedom Radio. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for listening.